Hey friends, happy Thursday. Just wanted to hop on and share a little bit of what I'm up to out in the garden. Enjoying a little bird flying around, and I was over in my herb garden, otherwise known as the horse trough, and I found some really cool, interesting plants. I'm going to show you this bird before he flies away though. He's just the cutest. I keep seeing these little guys around, just hopping right around the garden and seeing what they can find. But super fun. I love the yellow color under the tail. And there he goes. Here in the horse trough, I actually took the metal arbor that got damaged in Hurricane Milton, and I took some of the sections out. So it used to have two sections on each side, and then the arch came up and immediately went back down, but I took that section from each piece and I moved it up to the top so that it made a shorter arch. You can see there's still some damage. I'm going to play with how to reconnect that, but for now I've got this stake in there to help support it. This half is pretty well empty. Where the water can is, I used to have a couple of varieties of basil, and one of them had overwintered last year but did not survive over this winter. And right at the base of the support of the trellis where those marigolds are blooming, I left them even though they're a little messy, because that dead one in the corner is covered in seeds, and some of those plants that you see coming up like right there, that is actually a couple of weeds, but a couple of marigolds that are coming up from those seeds from last year. Marigolds, if you're not familiar, are really good at various types of pest management in a natural approach. They will help control the nematodes that get in the soil. They'll honestly just like take the brunt of the attack. This one where I pulled the roots out, oh sorry little lizard, been scaring all the lizards and frogs today. Where I pulled the roots out, if there had been nematode presence and damage here, then you probably would have seen some nodes and just some really funny knobby looking sections on the roots, but not really seeing that. So I think for the most part it's probably helping a bit with the mosquitoes, but not much else. As you can see, each bloom that gets fertilized has tons of seeds, and I want to encourage these. I will probably move some of them around the garden, but for now they are happy right here. So I've just been scattering them or just letting them do their thing. Acorns not so much. Now at the base of this one, I think I started to say this and distracted myself. I planted some zucchini that I'm hoping will grow up and over this trellis. And then on the other side down here, this is a 12-foot bed, so there is a lot in here. Up underneath this lettuce and carrots, I've got some cucumbers that I grew last year. They don't get super tall, but they should grow up about, I don't know, most of the way up to this arch, probably about 3 to 5 feet. I think last year, I think that they got up about this tall, so that's probably about 4. So maybe with a little bit better support, they might continue to grow some more. So I've got some carrots working down in here. None of them really ready to go. None of them really thinned either, but I had a photo the other day y'all might not have seen, or maybe you did, where one of them has this super dark stem on it. And this is a rainbow mix of seeds. I did pull one out and it was a white carrot. Not really seeing enough of any of these, but I'm kind of hoping that this will be a purple one. And the white carrot that I pulled, it was definitely a more bitter kind of flavor, but I don't think it was fully ripe either. And I left maybe a 1/4 inch at the top or slightly less, and I'm hoping that it will sprout and that I can plant that, because carrots are biennial. That means that the first year they focus on producing the root. If you want to eat the carrot, you have to pick it in the first year. When you can start to really see the top is when it tells you that it's ripe. And you can pull it at any point. You can let it keep getting bigger, or you can pull it as soon as you're seeing, a quarter-inch, half-inch above the soil, where that root is swelling up. That's going to have a lot of carbohydrate that gives it the good sweet flavors. And so any point in there you can pull it. Typically the younger ones are going to be sweeter. However, if you leave it over the winter into the next year, then the biennial cycle kicks in. The second year, it sets seed. It flowers. It's like a Queen Anne's lace kind of flower. It's a big umbral type of head. And those seeds will give you lots more carrots. And since that white one is a little bit more uncommon, I am trying to see if I can get it to root back out. I don't care what shape those roots end up taking, because I'm not planning to eat the roots of that. I just want to let it go and set seed. This lettuce here is a kind of a red romaine lettuce. You can see one of the younger ones back here looking just beautiful and tasty, but this one has officially bolted. There's still a few small leaves that could be pulled and eaten. There's some of that milky sap. Lettuce does have a bit of a latex effect to the sap. And so all of these beautiful flowers are producing these little seed heads. As they get fertilized, then I can come in and pick some of those off. I've done some already, but I'm just letting this one stay here and continue to produce seeds. This was a really good lettuce, and it was pretty happy here in the cooler months, but we're starting to get warm, so these are all going to eventually bolt. But I've been picking off bits, enough for a nice bowl of salad, and then let it sort of regrow. Parsley's looking great. I love it. I've got some watercress down in here that is just beautiful and tasty. Mix that in with the lettuce when I pick it out. Not sure why these are mottling and discolored like that. Obviously some kind of pest pressure, but it's not really all throughout the plant. It's just those lower leaves. Again, I'm not too concerned about it. The other thing I wanted to show you today is my oregano has really taken off. I did find that the dill that I planted in there back in the fall, or kind of over the winter, I thought it had died, but it is coming back right in there. So I'm glad I left that plant tag in there so I knew what it was. But these oregano are air layering themselves, or you might call it a serpentine layering. Some of them are still connected down in here, but some of them seem to actually have kind of broken off. I found a piece back here, sorry for the swishing around, but you can actually see some of those little fine roots, and it's on a stalk that's already got its own roots, but it's just what we call air layering, or serpentine layering, where it's come up and down and it's creating a new foundational growth point, where I could snip this off, put it into some more soil, and I just found an oak tree. Let's get that out of there carefully. Got the acorn, awesome. So I could snip this off and I could put it into some more soil and have a new plant. That would be a plant clone. As it matures and sets some flowers, this one, like I said, it seems to be independent, but it's not part of the original plant. The original plant was over here. So it's kind of broken itself off there. But yeah, I've got tons of oregano, but I can definitely consider propagating that by separating some of those growth points where they put out the roots, and share some more plants or move it around the garden. This one back here is pretty fun. I've got some actual cilantro right here. Cilantro. Some of the kids in my classes make fun of me for how I say it, but I'm an American. It's okay. Cilantro. This one is called a culantro. And the culantro has a very similar taste, but it can handle the heat a lot better. However, it packs some heat of its own, because this is what we would call an armored plant. Those spines are painful. It doesn't like to be messed with. And all of these heads are inflorescences or flowers, and some of them are maturing to the point that they are setting viable, hopefully viable seeds. And so I can save some of these. Some of them I'm just kind of spreading around nearby here, see what comes up, and if it gives me a good handful of plants, then I can pull out what I don't need and share those, spread them around somewhere else, take all the leaves off and cook something, you know, whatever. But for being February here, I am super excited about how this herb garden is going, and it's half empty. So all of this space over here, I can keep working. I do want to get some thyme. Definitely want to restart some basil and possibly something that'll grow up this post right here. But mostly, other than a few vining plants, I'm not trying to put a bunch of like vegetables and things, small things like the radishes and the carrots, the lettuce. Those are all cool season crops. So as soon as they ripen and mature, I've got one or two of the radishes ready to go. I'll pull those out, and I will not be replanting those for this season because it's already too hot. But yeah, just a quick little check-in. I hope y'all are doing great. Hope you can make some time to get out and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy your garden today, and I'll see you next time.